multiple choice question. Which advertisement is an example of social marketing?
I gotta answer that. Which advertisement is an example of social marketing? Which advertisement is an example of social marketing? An ad by a local church to raise awareness about poverty. Resume.
Individuals.
Guys, I'm just doing homework
Is
right now.
creating a
I'm literally
resume to
listening to
communicate your
homework.
value to prospective employers a form of marketing? What about selling yourself in an interview or updating your LinkedIn page? Many marketing professionals believe that self-promotion like this is a form of marketing. Ultimately, it may not matter what you're marketing, even if it's yourself or another person. If you learn how to create value, communicate and deliver it to the receiver, and get something in exchange for it, you have successfully engaged in marketing. Short answer, question. Describe one situation where you've used marketing personally, like applying for a job or updating your LinkedIn page.
Describe one situation where you've used marketing personally. Oh my goodness, I gotta get up and type. I don't like these questions where I actually have to type. Describe one situation where you've used marketing personally, like applying for a job. So can I just repeat that? Applying for applying a job? Then I can't even talk right now. The ceiling. Can I do it this way? You guys are gonna see me right there for a moment. Come on, rotate back device. While the setting, wait, oops, that's not what I wanted. Hello, I just got a jump of people and I'm trying to figure out how to, it says orientation is locked, rotate device back. Oh, I get what it's saying. Okay, it wants me to rotate. Okay, hello, hi. All of a sudden I got like a jump of people and I'm literally just doing homework. I'm trying to answer this question. Describe one situation where you've used marketing personally, like applying for a job or updating your LinkedIn page. Marketing personally, I have updated my resume. Hello, thanks for joining. Updated my resume by including my past jobs with experience. You see the live? Hi. With experience that may I am applying for. I'm typing, sorry. I'm trying to do homework. I have updated my resume by including my past jobs with experience that may coincide with the job I am applying for. And I'm also typing with only one hand because I'm holding my phone. It's typing. I've updated my resume. I also include, I can't type apparently. I also include references that may speak of my good qualities for the job. Live playback. Is my voice echoing? Is my voice echoing? Is that what's happening? I also include references that may speak of my good qualities for the job post. Sure, let's go with that.
Reference answer. Coming up, it's time for another feature. On the next page, we'll look at an article and a video explaining the importance of centering your marketing strategies on the consumer.
On this page, 2 of attempted. Wait, did I miss anything? 2 of 4? Did I miss anything? 1. Oops. What makes for-profit marketing different from non-profit marketing? Well, for-profit, you're making money, aims to make money for the company. Yes. Thank you. Hello. Welcome to the chat. I see that. Where's the other question I missed? What is an example of a business to consumer company? What is an example of a business to consumer? Business, but business to company? Why does it say business to business? Oh, no, business consumer, yes. P&G products, sells products and services we use consumer. Individual people. Yay. Hello. I'm just doing homework, guys. Listen to some homework, some business homework.
You've learned about how companies target specific customers and tailor the 4 Ps, promotion, price, place, and product, to that target market. But why do the 4 Ps need to be tailored to the target market? The following article by Matthias K., CEO of the travel company With Locals, explains the importance of keeping the customer at the center of your marketing strategy. Medium, putting the customer at the center of your marketing strategy. By Matthias K., August 19, 2015. Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, once proclaimed, "There is only one boss, the customer. And he can fire everybody in the company from the chairman on down, simply by spending his money somewhere else." Whether you sell clothing, beauty products, streaming services, online games, or something completely different, your customers have the power to make or break your business. To get an edge on the competition, you need to put the customer first. So how do you go about setting up a customer-centric marketing strategy? Communication that revolves around customer needs.
The game.
When it comes to customer-centric marketing, the objective is clear. You need to put the customer front and center.
Business.
To sell your product or service, ticking off a list of features and benefits isn't going to cut it anymore. Today, closing the deal means marketers have to focus on individual customers and their specific needs and desires. Your client base is your most valuable asset. But each customer is driven by their own unique motivations. The key is getting to know your customers. Who are they? Demographics like age, gender, education, etc. What do they want? Where are their pain points? Where do they hang out? Physical and virtual locations. What are their hobbies and interests? What influences their behavior? Collect all the data you can, but keep consumer privacy in mind to make sure you have a complete picture of all your types of customers. By defining and categorizing the groups of people you want to connect with, you can customize your marketing efforts to meet their unique needs. Automate your customer-focused marketing. Now that you have all the data about your clients, your next challenge is sending them tailored messaging. Automating your marketing and advertising activities is a simple way to be certain that your efforts are hitting their mark and delivering value. And by connecting all your various communications platforms, you can leverage the data collected throughout the entire customer journey. Automation gives you more time to focus on learning about your clients and discovering the most effective ways to reach them. The thing to remember is that customer-centric marketing is an ongoing process. Combining the necessary information and tools will allow you to experiment, test, and uncover what delivers the best results, as well as opportunities you may be missing. Once you know what works best, you can reproduce and/or expand upon specific tactics. No matter how you approach it, putting your customers at the center of your marketing strategy will help you deliver the right message at the right time through the right channel. And when the customer comes first, you'll see the impact on your bottom line. From Matthias K., Putting the Customer at the Center of Your Marketing Strategy. Medium, August 19, 2015. Reproduced by permission of the publisher. Multiple choice question. What is a reason companies practice customer-centric marketing, according to the article?
What is a reason companies practice customer-centric marketing? Audience. Yay! The article states that customer-centric marketing helps companies deliver the right message at the right time through the right channel. Yay!
The Weifman Principle. Have you ever asked yourself, what's in it for me, when making a decision? Customers ask that question constantly. In this video from ClickX, you'll learn that the best marketing strategies speak to benefits that customers actually want. Being able to put yourself in the customer's shoes, or keeping them in the center of your marketing strategy, enables you to speak directly to what is most important to them and increase the probability of them purchasing your product or service. Short answer. Question. How does a company figure out which benefits customers want and need?
The typing questions.
Hey everybody, I'm Solomon with ClickX. Today's marketing hack of the day, I'm going to teach you the most important acronym that you need to learn in your business, which is called WIIFM. All right? No, it's not a radio station, and it's going to help you make millions of dollars. I promise you, if you can get this right, you're going to make a lot of money. Let's get started.
Marketing hack of the day is brought to you by ClickX.
All right, so you might be thinking to yourself, what is this WIIFM thing he's talking about? It is basically the fundamental principle that every marketing campaign, every salesperson should be doing behind, right, in your head as you're proposing to a prospect, or if you're writing copy for your marketing campaign. Doesn't matter if it's an email marketing or website or even a small tweet, all right? It means, what's in it for me? All right, that is what your prospect, that is what your audience is asking. What's in it for me? Tell me, what is it going to help me do? How is this going to help me accomplish more? How is this going to save me more money? How is this going to help me get to where I'm going for my company, for my career, whatever your person, whoever you're talking to? They're always thinking from their perspective, right? So a lot of companies, they don't necessarily know how to crush their goals, or they don't know how to beat their competition. They get too hung up on conversion rates, and maybe they're thinking about why their email marketing is so low, right? They're like, what do we do now? Do we have to scrap all of our campaigns and offers and come up with new one? No, you're probably missing this guy right here. All right? You're missing the very element that they use to decide whether or not they want to use your company versus somebody else's. The very thing that they want to use to decide whether they want to work with you or they want to work with somebody else. It's all about how you come out, right? It's all about how you come across to your prospects. So I'm going to give you some examples, and maybe that can help you kind of revitalize how you should be thinking about your campaigns, your offers, your content, and so forth. And I believe that it's not just the newbie marketer that gets this wrong. Marketers in all sizes and shapes and forms, big companies, small companies, they all get this wrong, right? We get right down to the features. We talk about how fast their engines can go, or how many RPMs, and whether it's a V8 with 6 cylinders, or it's a V8 inline cylinders, this thing, that thing. We get too caught up in the features. We never ever talk about the benefits of why we exist, and why should somebody else do business with us, and how is this going to help them solve their problem. All right, let's just say that you're a fitness club, and you're trying to add more members, okay, for as an example. And a new customer would walk in and you're trying to sell them on all the different treadmills you have and the Stairmasters and all the ellipticals and how you have 2 full basketball courts. And this person may not even give a crap about your basketball court. So you have to understand that. What is that person looking for? How do they exercise? Why are they even deciding to want to go join a fitness club? Maybe what they're thinking that if I go 10 times a month, I can stay in the same weight that I have, or I'm trying to lose 5 pounds and I just need to do whatever that is. That's the goal that they're going after. They couldn't care less about the rock climbing wall. You got that?
Yeah.
So that's what you need to understand, that you need to start measuring what your customers are looking for, and are they getting that, and not talk about the leisure pool that you have, or the outdoor pool, or you have the kids play area, because they might not even have kids. All right, folks? So let's take a step back
might not even
and
have
assess
kids.
our marketing message and see whether or not it is in alignment with the benefits that the customers are going to get. You know, this marketing hack isn't like do 1, 2, and 3 and you automatically get 3 times more conversions. No, this is going to actually go take you a step back to actually assess what you have and figure out whether or not you're even saying the same things that you should be saying in your marketing messages. You see, for marketers, it's really easy to list features. We're so good at it because we know what the TV is made out of. We know how small it is, you know how thin it is, and you know how amazing the sound is, and you can just keep saying that all day, but what they're looking for is whether or not it's going to fit on top of the fireplace. You see what I'm saying? They're thinking something completely different from what we think they're going to buy it for. So you have to think about what is the prospect looking for, what is the audience that we're trying to sell to, right? Whoever we're trying to sell to, what are they looking for, and how do we help them reach their goals, right? Put yourself in their shoes. I know we say that a lot, but very rarely we ever put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. And if you can do that, then you're going to have much better insight into what the pain of the person you're trying to help, and then you'll be able to help them reach that. And let me tell you, those are the companies that have massive, massive success. They've had success in the past. They'll continue to be successful because they rarely talk about the size of the engine. All right? Because I wouldn't know how to measure that, because I am not educated enough. I don't have the knowledge to know this engine is better than that engine. I am pretty much clueless, so I use other things that I know as a means to understand whether or not this is the company I want to work with, or this is the thing I want to buy, or that thing. So here's the action item. All right? I am imploring you to redefine your offer. Redefine your content, redefine your messaging, redefine everything that you have that you're saying to your customers in your sell sheet, in your webinars, and figure out it's not about you. Take a step back, and it's about them, right? How are you going to help them achieve what is it that they're trying to do? And then you step back and see whether or not it worked, whether or not they understood you, and whether or not they're going to want to do business with you, whether or not they want to even hear more from you. Because you can hear when a company is just talking about themselves. I've been around for such and such years. We have hundreds of employees and we have customers here. These are all the logos. And for 25 minutes, you're talking about your company. You have 50 slides about your business. And you haven't even asked your prospect whether or not, what would you like to talk about today? Or what is the pain that you're facing today, right? You haven't even talked about your prospect's pain. You're still talking about yourself. And a lot of companies do this. And if that's you, I'm so sorry. You know, I hope it didn't come out the wrong way. If you can help them solve their pain, they're more likely to do business with you. They couldn't care less about how big you are or how many years you've been around. So let's take a step back and really redefine what it is that our offer is. You see, a lot of marketers are struggling to hit 2% conversion rate, which is like really average, right? Or 1%. They can't even get to 1% because they're always talking about themselves. And they're so obsessed about themselves, they just want to talk about themselves, and nobody even cares. They come to the website, they bounce right back. You haven't even explained to them how you're going to solve their pain, right? Most companies, when I go to their website, it's like all about us. Everything is about us. They should just relabel all the navigation to about us, because everything is about us, our capabilities, our everything, right? Our team, it's all about us. And there's barely anything for the prospect. Why should they spend any time on your website? Please tell me. There isn't, right? And then you wonder why your marketing isn't working. It's because you got this whole thing upside down. You got to understand that every single customer has a different pain, so you need to figure out how you're going to address to that. But I'll give you one last example, and I'll let you go. All right? So remember when iPod came out? Steve Jobs introduced the iPod, and he's on stage. He's explaining what the iPod can do. You know how he explained the iPod? It wasn't because there were other MP3 players that had little headphones on it. He explained that this device right here, you can listen to 1,000 songs from it. And people were able to relate to how many songs that they had in their inventory of songs and CDs and everything. And they saw that 1,000 songs in this little teeny device, I'm buying it. He didn't say how fast it goes. He didn't talk about the storage. He didn't talk about the RAM. He didn't talk about anything else. He was actually creating a whole new line of product, but he was talking in terms of the consumers and what they were looking to do, because obviously MP3 players were getting more popular, and iPod was the first thing that's going to change the whole thing for Apple, actually. So the way that he described it was, hey, you're going to be able to listen to this many songs. Then later on, there was an iPod photo, and he said you'll be able to store 25,000 photos. And people are like, wow, I got all these photos, now I can store it on my iPod. You know, at this point, nobody even stores photos on their iPod. Nobody even has iPod. They just have an iPhone. But the fact of the matter is, he was able to connect with the consumer and let them know that you have all this music. I'm going to give you a better way to listen to them and to store them and take it everywhere you go. That's why Apple is where it is today, not because they compare themselves to the PCs or the other MP3 players out there or another phone that's out there. In fact, they rarely do that. They never talk about their competition. They just talk about how easy it is to use the product and how amazing it is, and show others that are using it and enjoying it. And maybe that's what you got to do. But I just want to take a step back and look at your offer. If you're not getting the kind of conversions rate that you want, maybe you're talking too much about yourself and less about the prospects, that they don't really care. They'll leave, and they probably want to do business with someone else who's willing to listen to them, willing to take care of them. This concept about what's in it for me is never going to change. All right? I hope you got some insights. Thank you for watching another edition of Marketing Hack of the Day.
Oh, hi.
Subscribe to our channel.
Oh my goodness. You could find that on YouTube. Okay. How does a company figure out which benefits customers want? Shit. How does a company figure out? Putting yourself in their shoes. Sorry, I'm going sideways for a moment because it is what it is. The company needs to ask themselves as if they were the customer how the product helps them the company needs to know what is important to the customer. The company doesn't need to show off percentages or exact details of an item. The company needs to show how it will benefit the customer. I guess does that sound right? Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm saying myself. Sorry.
Reference answer. One way to keep consumers at the center of marketing strategies is to analyze their buying behaviors and why they change. Coming up, we'll discuss these trends and how they are influenced by a number of factors. Factors that influence consumers' buying behavior. You've been a consumer with purchasing power for much longer than you probably realized, since the first time you were asked which cereal or toy you wanted. Over the years, you've developed your own mental shortcuts, providing a systematic way to choose among alternatives, even if you aren't aware of it. For example, you might have a particular brand of shampoo you usually buy, as well as a set backup option if your preferred shampoo is out of stock when you go to the store. Other consumers follow a similar process, but different people, no matter how similar they are, make different purchasing decisions. A person might be interested in a Tesla Model Y, but their best friend might want to buy a Ford F-150 truck. What factors are influencing their decisions? Consumer behavior is influenced by many things, including environmental and marketing factors, personal and psychological factors, and family and cultural factors. Businesses try to figure out trends so they can reach the people most likely to buy their products in the most cost-effective way possible. The move to more natural, organic products and less processed foods is an example. McDonald's replaced non-organic Minute Maid apple juice in its Happy Meals with Honest Kids Happily Ever After, which is organic and contains more water. Why? Because parents want their children to drink organic beverages with fewer calories and grams of sugar. See footnote 5. Short answer, question. Because consumers have started to prefer organic, low-sugar beverages, McDonald's replaced a non-organic apple juice with an organic apple juice for its Happy Meals. Can you identify another trend that ultimately changed the way an organization marketed its product?